And then imagine that most indwelling is also inherently, automatically, unconditionally in each other person gathered in the circle and in the blades of grass and the sun, the hummingbird, the ladybug. Let's turn your palms face out, reach the arms out to the side. And with an inhalation, raise your arms up. Exhale, bring your hands down to Anjali Mudra. Om Sahana Vavatu Sahanao Bhunaktu Savidyam Karavai Tejasvinavadhitamastu Ma Vidvesha Om Sahana Bhavatu Sahanao Bhunaktu Savidyam Karavai Tejasvinavadhitamastu Ma Vidvesha Om Sana Bhavatu Sahano Bhunaktu Savidyam Karavai Tejasvinavadhitamastu Ma Vidvesha Om Shanti 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 Hari Om Shri Guru Pyo Namaha Hari Om. And with your exhale, you may bow your head to your heart and release your hands and open your eyes. So in the model of the koshas, the word kosha means sheath or layer. You can think of it in that way. In the model of the koshas, we understand that there is this, I call it this indwelling suchness, which can't be amplified or diminished. It's not coming and going from you. It's not leaving and arriving. It's you're in it, swimming in it, as we sometimes have this fanciful expression, as if the fish were swimming in the water and asking, what is water? We are swimming, we're immersed in this ananda, but we are capable of forgetting it. That's called avidya. We're capable of forgetting it. It's also the case that others can forget it in us. And that's very painful to us. Like forgetting it, we don't realize we've forgotten it. So we're in a kind of suffering that we don't think we have forgotten this indwelling nature. We think we're sort of sorting some things out until we can kind of be acceptable or viable again. But when we do have a sense of that indwelling suchness, or perhaps we're in touch with something in our vulnerability or our innocence or earnestness, we're kind of working something through, yet somebody else is forgetting that ananda, that indwelling suchness, that rupture between us feels very painful. So we are capable of forgetting it in ourselves. We are capable of forgetting it in others. Those are both very painful, but some of us don't recognize the pain until someone is forgetting it in us. And we feel bereft to be forgotten like that. And yet, when we're forgetting it in ourselves, there is a bereftness that would be warranted. And certainly when we're forgetting it in someone else, we might be causing them to feel bereft. So it's a difficult cycle to break, because what's happened is the avidya, the forgetfulness, it's taken us from that deepest indwelling ananda and that vijnanamaya kosha, which is the second of the sheaths, where we have a sense of an indwelling wisdom, a deep knowing about this ananda coming into our wisdom body. But then this forgetting is happening at the manamaya kosha, at the mental body. And that particular congealing of forgetfulness also becomes the other four causes of suffering. So avidya, forgetting our indwelling nature and the indwelling nature of others, becomes asmita, a felt sense of separateness. And that becomes raga, dvesha, and abhinivesha. That is desire, clinging and grasping, aversion, resistance, not wanting, intolerance, and then abhinivesha, fear, a deep fear. So at the manamaya kosha, if you had ananda, vijnanamaya, manamaya kosha, we don't realize that we are causing ourselves to have this really massive misperception. And then that flows into the pranamaya kosha, where our nervous system is regulating around this forgetfulness, it's adapting to it. And then we have this annamaya kosha, the physical body. And that's also adapting to this indwelling forgetfulness that we have incurred that we don't know about. And so we take the symptoms out here, the annamaya kosha, to be the stuff that if we could just work that out, or we take our personality symptoms and think, well, how can I just mold myself to be sort of okay enough in these different relationships to feel safe enough, connected enough at the base chakra? How can I organize that? And yoga would recommend that we go back down in to this ananda that we already are. And from that place, address the symptoms of our life. Not addressing the symptoms of our life to get back to that place, but from this place, addressing those symptoms. Now, paradoxically, it's very hard to, to get to this Anandamaya kosha when the symptoms are shouting at you. So we do have to find our way through the density of the symptoms back to this central indwelling suchness. I'm honored to see this every day when I work with you all as a yoga community, and especially when I'm able to be in Zoom on one-to-one. There's a lot more intimacy, of course. Were we in a public setting together, were we on a retreat together, I would also see it and feel it in you. But this kind of moving through the symptoms of the annamaya kosha, pranamaya kosha, manamaya kosha, and touching home, and then letting that ananda influence and inform how you see back out. This is a process that is both incoming and outgoing. This flowing in and flowing out. And that's our task this morning, is to remember that system is within us. So let me scoot these out of the way. So we will start on the back that we did yesterday. I know it's not as hot, but we are going to still start on the ground. And I would recommend that you have just at the ready these two folded blankets. We're not going to start with them, but let's put them where you're going to have easy reach for them. And please lie on your back. With the knees bent. You can place your hands like we did yesterday on the low belly. And I'd like you to be able to sense that the movements that we're doing, they're things that are like indigenous to your body. You're waking up a body knowing inside. So connect to your in-breath and your out-breath again. As you inhale, send your right thigh and right knee forward. As you exhale, And draw the right hip and right knee back to the starting position. Inhale, lengthen your left thigh and your left knee forward. Allow your whole body to respond. Exhale, follow the return. Inhale, reach with your right thigh and your right knee. Press into your right heel to support that. The right butt does come up off the floor. Exhale for the return. Inhale, lengthen the left thigh forward. As you reach, press into your left heel. Feel the firmness of the earth beneath your footprint. Exhale, roll your left hip back down. Repeat once more on each side, just like this. And notice the wave-like action of the pelvis in response to what you're doing with your thighs and your feet. Now this time, as you come to center, inhale, lengthen your right thigh forward and your right arm overhead. And exhale, return. Inhale, reach with your left thigh and your left arm. Exhale to return. You don't have to make it look like yoga poses, certainly not like yoga stick figures. Inhale your right thigh forward, right arm overhead. And exhale to return. Once more with your left thigh at your own breathing pace. Now we're going to add yesterday's action, which is going to bring a bit of required stability. So stability at the first chakra comes before adventure at the second chakra. So here, as you lengthen your right thigh forward, this time also let the left lower back press firmly down. And then exhale, return to the starting position. Inhale, left thigh forward, right lower back down. And exhale, return to your starting position. Let's bring the arms back in. So lengthen your right thigh forward, left lower back down. Raise your right arm overhead. And exhale, return. Inhale, left thigh, right lower back, left arm. Exhale, return. And we're going to add lifting this time. So inhale, right thigh, left lower back, left knee, right arm. Exhale to go up. Inhale, roll your pelvis down. And exhale, return your right arm and your left foot to the starting position. Inhale, left thigh, right lower back, right knee, left arm. And then rising up. And inhale, roll down. Exhale, return. Same thing one more time. Inhale, right thigh, left lower back, left knee, right arm. Exhale, roll up. And inhale to return the pelvis to the floor. Exhale, right hand, left foot. So inhale, left thigh, last one. Right lower back, right knee, left arm. And exhale to go up. Inhale, roll down. And exhale, left hand, right foot. Now let's take the feet as wide as the yoga mat, please, and tip both knees down to your left. Now when you tip the knees down, because you start with your feet wide as the mat, come down to the inside edge of your right foot and the outside edge of your left foot, and lengthen the right thigh forward. This is going to be a circle action, so take the left arm out to the side, and as you inhale, bring your right arm across. And then exhale, big circle with the right arm. Keep the right butt stable, open to your right. And so when you inhale, sweep the right arm down. Bring your right hip forward with you. Reach with your right arm. And then exhale, make a big circle with the right arm and keep your right butt where it is. And again, inhale, right arm down. Reach. Exhale. So we're going to try to keep the pelvis stable. That means the right hip is staying just where it is. And the movement is, you can feel the low belly, mid belly, and then the upper torso and arms especially. Let's do it twice more. Here's the exhale. Of course, you're going at your own breath pace. Inhale. Last one. And then roll your thighs, knees, and feet to center. And then take both knees down to your right. And so you'll see now, because you can see my left foot better, that you're on the inside edge of your foot and the outside edge of the right foot. Inhale, reach across. And exhale. Keep the left hip and pelvis stable. So it is a back bend and a twist. And I hope that you do feel something in the left hip flexors. And let's imagine that you're clearing the sky of the mind. That maybe we're clearing the field of our forgetfulness. And bring that one also back to center now. Okay, lie on your left side as we did yesterday. Hold your head with your left hand. The knees are up close. So when we reach forward now, you're going to sense the upper back gets more broad. Reach out through your right thigh and your right arm. The upper back is more neutral. And then reach, the upper back is going to get more broad. So let's inhale, lengthen your right arm and your right leg. You are lying on your left side. And exhale, curl and extend your right arm forward. Inhale, lengthen. Exhale. This is sort of contracting position, so we'll just say contract. Inhale, lengthen. And exhale, contract. Once more, inhale to lengthen. And now supporting your head with your left hand and arm, exhale, roll open. Try keeping your left outer thigh and shin on the floor. And then come across. So we're going to make that one big movement now. The inhale. And exhale. Once more. So it's going to require some inner stability, core stability, we might say, and some mobility, right? Some of the flexibility that you need to be here. Let's take both arms overhead, roll onto your back. Not like a weeble wobble. I hope you came smoothly onto your back. I have to move away from my furniture there. Please lie on your right side. Reach your left arm forward. That's the contracting position. And then inhale, lengthen your left arm and your left leg. And exhale, contract. Inhale, reach. Left arm and left leg. Exhale, curl in. Inhale, lengthen. And exhale, we're going to add the other movement now. So let's do it first time in stages. So inhale, reach. Establish yourself in your space there. And notice when you're going to roll onto your right outer hip and then right butt, left, maybe the left hip will come down, maybe it won't. Okay. Do you have a sense of that motor plan is what it's sometimes called? Okay. So we try it now with one smooth inhale. You inhale to reach and roll. And exhale to return. Twice more, please. I don't expect that it's smooth or easy for all of us. Even maybe day to day, it's not smooth or easy for one of us. For one day, it might work. The next day, you might have some dysregulation somewhere in the mind or the body, and you find, oh, I'm not as coordinated as I was yesterday. Or I'm more coordinated today than I was yesterday. Okay, lengthen both arms overhead and roll onto your back. And then place your feet once more flat on the floor. And notice what is happening for you with the mind. Okay, I would like you to roll to your side now and bring the two blankets onto your mat from before. Those of you who were in class this past weekend for our teacher training, you'll recognize that there is this contracting or going inward and then this expansion or going outwards. And that is again related to your study of polyvagal theory. So if that's a mystery word for others, we could talk about it sometime. I have spoken about it in class. I don't want to have another scientific discussion at the moment. So I'm referencing it for the teacher training community. They're in their 300-hour yoga teacher training course. Okay, put the two blankets, please, behind your upper back. Place your feet to their hip distance or a little bit wider. If possible, hold the elbows. The opposite hand holds the opposite elbow. I hope that that makes a little square or a little support for your head. If it doesn't, then when you're holding the elbow, put one hand behind to hold your shoulder. So your head is resting on your forearm or within your forearms. And notice the pathway of the breath, please. And roll onto your left side. And what we're going to do here is rest your right knee on your left arch. You can just keep it there and roll back a little ways. So you're massaging the left upper chest. Partly that is the rotator cuff, partly it's the lymph system. But I also want you to practice what it is to rotate. You don't have the use of your arms here, nor your legs. So keep the right knee supported by your left foot and the right butt forward. So the right hip is not rolling backwards. Right hip can be stable, stable, stable. So you're going to feel that roll in the right inner belly. And some people are going to feel it in the IT band and the hip flexors. And then roll your knees up, return to your back. Explore holding the other way with the hands and shoulders. So whichever one was on top, you can switch that. And then take your torso, roll to your right, drop your right knee down, place your left foot in the arch of your right foot, left knee in the arch of your right foot. And practice rolling your torso here, but not your hips and pelvis. Of course, they're going to have a little bit of movement. Don't be dogmatic, please, with my instructions. To keep the pelvis stable, you're going to find that there may be some areas lighting up for you at the left IT band or the iliacus inside the pelvis or the hip flexors. And of course, as you're rolling, there are these beautiful sensations for the right upper chest, right lymph system, the rotator cuff muscles near to and under your shoulder and shoulder blade. Roll yourself onto your back. And then you can watch here for just a moment. So that is a warm-up position for one more thing we'll do on our back this morning. And I have to request that you guys really take care of your knees and ankles here because I can't see your knees and ankles. They're tiny right now. They're very tiny. So let me show you turning to my right so that you can see. When you roll over now, you're going to take the left foot and lengthen up to the left knee towards the floor. Because you're lying on your side, you're going to have a little bit of opportunity here for what your knee is going to do. My recommendation is that you're lengthening it straight out from your thigh and down towards the ground, not letting it fly up too high towards the ceiling. And then when you roll, you will roll the right outer thigh will stay on the floor, but you can roll the right butt down, the left hip, the left butt, and there's a beautiful chance to meet up with your quadricep muscles and your hip flexors right through here. And we're going to be rolling in both directions again. So then I pick up and roll across. So please come to this with great respect for your left knee, your left foot, your left hip. When you're rotating to the open position, really do think of turning your pelvis. It's not just your torso now. We are actually turning the pelvis as well. And when you roll up and you're going to your right side again, the left hip may or may not move that far. It's partly because we've changed the foot, ankle, and shin position. Your torso will not have as much range of motion. And you may be encountering your left hip flexors, your quadriceps. I hope that you're smiling at your body. Let's roll open one more time. Please hold your head with your right hand and lengthen your left arm overhead. And then roll onto your right side. Bring your left knee around. And let's go the other way. So roll onto your left outer chest and shoulder. You're going to take the right foot and sneak it under there. So your right foot is really in the position, for those of us who studied Iyengar yoga, it's in the Virasana position. So when you roll back, you are going to bring your left outer butt to the floor, left middle butt, and the right butt may come down in that direction. We don't have as much range now for the movement of the torso. So don't push to make it what it was the first time we were oriented in a similar position. So keeping the left outer thigh and shin on the ground in both directions when you're rolling away from and towards. The next time that you roll open, please hold your head with your left hand and reach your right arm out long. And then roll across to release. Okay, and press it. Good morning. Good morning to the whole of you, your totality, your not just your physical body, but you. Let's put these two blankets at the ready for the calf stretch. And you may want to have two blocks. We're going to come up to stand. Place your toes on the blankets. And for those of you for whom that means, whoa, the floor is really far away because your calves are speaking to you, put your blocks there in place. It's not the case for everyone, but for those of you who need the blankets, please don't, the block, excuse me, please don't deny yourself. And invite your torso to relax down and see if you can breathe into the sensations asking for your attention. Place your hands now at the tops of your thighs and hips. Press your thigh bones back as you bring your chest and heart forward. And then exhale for one deep bow towards the legs. Slowly rise up to standing. I know you still have your toes on the blanket, your heels on the ground. So as you rise up, try pouring yourself down into your legs and then step backwards to mountain pose. And I'll change the angle of my camera. Hey, good morning, everyone. I hope your hip flexors and such are okay being here. So as you're working through the physical body and reducing some of its tension, the breath body starts to be more accessible, more easeful. And that helps us to work inwards towards the mental body, the Manomaya Kosha. So I'd like to put these two blankets now, please, this way across your mat. We're going to be coming down to Anjaneyasana to work again in hip flexors and the pelvis. my water glass, but it has plant sheddings in it. Okay, please step your right foot forward and the left knee back. Take the left block forward of the right block. And allow the hips to come forward and down. So you are angling towards the floor. Tone the left butt muscles. Now, just to check where you are in physical space, if you're going to keep the right knee where it is and yet twist open to your left by pressing into your left arm, are you going to run into anything that you have to take notice of? Once you know that, then I'd like you to do this. Start with both hands on the blocks. As you inhale, reach your right arm forward. And then exhale, right arm down as you rotate to your right. Press into your left hand there. And then inhale, rotate, and again, reach forward. And exhale, lower your right arm, press into your left arm, twist to your right, reach with your right arm. Inhale, rotate, reach forward. Exhale, press into your left hand, turn the low belly, mid belly, upper belly, chest, and heart. And again, please. And last time, exhale. Return your right hand to its block, left hand to its block. Tuck the left toes under and glide your hips backwards. With the right hand on the block and it's close in, it's quite likely that your right arm is bent right now. That would be appropriate. See if you can keep your left hand where it was. We're going to exhale, come back down to Anjaneyasana. Inhale, reach forward. Exhale, down, across, and twist. Inhale, reach forward. Tuck the left toes under. Exhale, take your hips back. Place your right hand on its block. Breathe in. And exhale, glide forward. Touch the left knee down. Inhale, reach one more time. Exhale, rotate one more time. Inhale, reach. And exhale, draw back. Breathe in. Place your right block near to your right foot. Left block can come back in. So you're bracketing the foot there. And step backwards, please, to downward dog pose. Step your left foot forward. You bring your right shin down to the the blanket, excuse me. Yep. Take the left block slightly back and the right block forward. Allow the hips to come forward and down. Those are your right hip flexors, I hope. The hip flexors do include also your psoas muscle. Let's inhale, reach forward. And exhale, left arm down and rotate. Inhale. Exhale. So when you're coming down and across here, strengthen the right arm to support the twist and the reach of your left arm. We're going to add to this again in just a moment. So inhale, reach forward. Tuck the right toes under. Raise your hips. Place your left hand on its block. Try to keep the right hand where it was. Let's warm up the hip flexors. I'm sorry, the hip extensors, your glutes, your hamstrings, your outer hip here. You might even feel your left calf muscle. And now we'll resume the movement part. So let's exhale, come down. Inhale, reach forward. Let's make a commitment to remember everyone and everything and this indwelling essence. So you want that to be remembered in you. We're practicing also remembering it in all others. Sadly, of course, some of us become incapable of seeing. And then the expression that comes through us, it's hard for others to see that indwelling suchness. But as a yogi, it's your duty to do so, to see that even when it's obscured by that person's behavior. It's not that you're overlooking reality in that case. You're simply trying to remember what is deeper than the surface expression of the person. Let's take it back. Last one here. And then place the left block near at your left foot, right block near to the left foot. And this time, let's step forward. It's called Uttanasana. Shift your hands to your hips and rise up to standing. Come to mountain pose, please. Standing with the hands at ease. Feel through your whole body. There's going to be places of recalibration right now. Some places moving energy, some places receiving energy. Our duty to sense that. If we say that Anandamaya Kosha, this Ananda, if we say it's unconditional, indwelling, infusing everything and everyone, we can't say except for him or except for her or that. So it may be difficult, but also it's very liberating to sense that, because it additionally tells you that you are also included. You are not excluded. So a few weeks back, we were looking at heel pose and upward dog pose using the two blocks and the two blankets. And I'd like us to come back to that exploration. Let me scoot myself back on this so you can see. Maybe you can see better than I can see. So place your shins on the two blankets and check and see if you can have your hands, toes, shins. So the kneecaps are just on the front side of the blanket. Yeah, once you have a sense of that, also check that that could be child's pose, where your knees are going to be up to your chest because the knees are elevated. So from here, we say inhale to cat. Exhale to cow pose. Reach your heart and your gaze forward. Inhale to seal pose. Roll the shoulders back. Press the tops of your feet down. Now all the way to child's pose. Inhale, cat. Exhale, cow. Inhale, seal. Exhale all the way back to child's pose. Inhale, cat. Cow. In seal pose, you do want to energize the legs and the arms. Lift your heart. And child's pose. Do it one more time. Walk one block back. Be there for your head. Let's bring the elbows in against the blankets. Turn your palms face up, please. So in this return, when you come to child's pose, it's now a place of refuge, not a place of hiding. The same pose with a different nervous system would be like a way to hide. This one is a practice of refuge. There's no judgment in the word hide. I'm referring to how we do have a dorsal vagal reflex, and it tells us to withdraw socially and to go to a place where we're more protected, but much more isolated also. In this case, it's a practice of taking refuge. To go inside and sense again that ananda that is in you. Place your hands near to your knees and please roll yourself up to kneeling. Okay, now we're going to practice something a little bit unusual. This is on our way to your Shavasana. So what I'd like us to do, and this may be that like my body fancifully does this and you're going to notify me that yours doesn't. Let's see if we can explore it. Place the, let's see, this is my right leg, okay? So place the right leg out to the side, left knee bent like this. And I'd like it to be on the outside of your right thigh. So you're already on the outer thigh. You can feel the inseam of the leg is pointing up towards the sky, and the outer right foot is rolling down towards the floor. Put your right hand behind you with your fingers pointing backwards. Take the left arm here and give a little twist to your right. Now roll the right shoulder back, and my friend Bella is going to be thoughtful about her right shoulder. So roll it back, press the left shoulder back, and in the twist, you can look over your right shoulder and pretty much down towards the floor is going to be the angle. Press the left knee open so the inner thigh feels permissive, I hope. And then press down into your left foot and raise your hips up. You're going to be on the outside edge of your right foot and you're balancing on your right arm. Reach with the left arm. Keep the right arm stable as you lower your right hip back down to the twist to your right. And then inhale, press into your left heel, raise up. And exhale, come down into your twist. One more time, please. So inhale, raise up. And exhale to come down. And then bring your right foot in and switch sides. Yeah, that was my right foot. Yeah, okay. That would be hard. Right now, my ability to mirror and get the language might be confused. So take the left leg out. You are on the outside of your leg. Let me see how you might see part of this better. I'll go like this time. Leg forward, you're on the outside of your thighs. So yeah, the right hip is not on the floor. Point the right toes and right knee forward. Left hand behind you. Press here against the inner right thigh and rotate to your left. So this is the twisting part here, and you do want to roll the left shoulder back. Don't sink into the left shoulder joint, but keep it spacious. And then press into your right heel, raise up. And follow your exhale to come down. So you're at the outer left hip there. The right hip doesn't make it to the floor. We'll do it 3 times. Keep the left arm and shoulders stable and also spacious so that when you're going up over a stable left arm. Twist once more to your left. And then bring the left leg in, the right leg in. Come to Sukhasana. Practice letting this Ananda remind you, let it remember you. It hasn't forgotten you, but let it remind is the word. Let it remind you. It's in there. It's not limited to being inside you, of course, but I want you to have a sense that it's indwelling. Remembering this in everyone and everything is our duty, and it's also liberating for our hearts. So we don't live with so much possibility of vidvesha. We don't want to be in the dvesha, the resistance or the animosity. So please lie on your back and come into your shavasana. When you come down for your shavasana, of course, any accoutrements that you want to add, you can do so. So let yourself lie really still. And what I'd like us to imagine is that the forgetting and the residue of that forgetting and the fog that it makes in the mind, that's all dissolving, it's dissipating. And as a result of that dissolving, remembering is occurring. You're not making a big effort. It's not a strain to remember. Welcome that dissolving to continue. Your arms, legs, hands, and feet. You can be very much at rest in the inner body, the torso, the inner organs, more and more deeply at ease. Invite this process to continue without you thinking. You're not organizing it. The dissolving is happening. The remembering will come more naturally. We're going to rest another minute or so. So continue allowing it to happen. Don't let the mind move elsewhere. This is such a beautiful process. Don't let yourself miss it. Maliveshavoi. 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 Slowly bring yourself from Shavasana back to sitting. We'll take the position for the first chakra, the mudra for that. The base chakra, the sound is lam. Lam, 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 lam. Lam, 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 lam. Lam, lam, lam. Second chakra. Wam, 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 wam. Third. Ram, 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 ram. 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 Fourth chakra. Yum, 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 Please bring your hands together at your heart. Placing these teachings in your heart, one hand on the other. Placing them in your palms. Placing it in your vision. Into your heart. And into your community. Making this offering to everyone. And also receiving the offering of others. Thank you very much, everyone.